Before my horror story, I need to explain that we used to live in a two-story old house, and I really dislike the cold. That's why in winter, no windows in our house are ever opened. My story begins here. One day, when my mother and I were alone in the house, I told my mother that I was going to take a shower. And as usual, in a cold winter, nothing beats a warm water shower. After finishing my shower and turning off the water, I heard a knocking sound. When I opened the door, I saw my towel in front of the door. I picked it up and was about to step out when I saw a woman with the same height and figure as my mother, wearing a white chador, walking towards the window, and a strange smell filled the air. In panic, I shouted, "Mom! What are you doing?" I saw the window open. "There is no sign of you." I screamed, "Mom! Mom!" until my mother came down from the lower floor and told me that she had gone to the neighbor downstairs for a moment. I showed her the towel I had put there, and she said, "No, I left the towel there and went to the neighbor without knocking on the door." I kept insisting that she had opened the window, but my mother, with 1,000 assurances, said, "No, I didn't open the window. Did you go crazy?" "We never opened windows because of you." I remembered feeling lightheaded and, with fear, explained everything to my mother. I hope it never happens again. I live in my grandparents' house with my grandfather and grandmother. One day, after retiring day, I started heading home to get ready for a gathering at my aunt's house. My grandfather was waiting for me to go together. I arrived home and saw my grandfather. I told him, "I'm covered in oil, engine oil. I will go to the bathroom and I will be ready in no time." I went to the bathroom, and it took me about half an hour to 40 minutes to wash up and, as they say, be clean and tidy. When I came out of the bathroom, I saw that my grandfather was still sitting there and not ready. I said, "I will put on my clothes, dry my hair, and get ready to go." I went to put on my clothes, and when I came back to go with my grandfather, he was not inside the house. I searched the entire house, called out his name, and realized his phone was not there. I thought maybe he couldn't wait and went to my aunt's house by himself. I called him and asked why he didn't wait for me to go together. What he said sent a strange fear into my heart. He said, "After you went to the bathroom, 5 minutes later, I went towards your aunt's house. Since you took a long time in the bathroom and my movement was right after you entered the bathroom, who was the person I saw and told to get ready to go?" A terrible fear struck me, but I composed myself and dismissed it as a fatigue and imagination. I turned off the lights in the house, leaving only the kitchen light on, so it wouldn't be completely dark. I went to the entrance door and opened it. As I stepped in, I saw the kitchen directly in front of the entrance. My grandfather, with round and unnatural eyes and an unusual and abnormal smile, was staring at me. I couldn't understand how I closed and locked the door, but I left the house and went outside. I only remember walking in the street with a lot of fear, not daring to look back. Mary Stanfield. June 1, 1922. Today my mother bought a mannequin for me to display my products in the store window. The mannequin is unusually heavy, but it is the mannequin nonetheless. I am grateful to my mother because I believe it will attract more women to my clothing store. June 5, 1922. I was working the store today when a customer expressed concern that the mannequin was staring at him. It was strange because the mannequin had no eyes, just an empty face. To investigate, I approached the mannequin and I, too, felt an intense gaze upon me. Odd. June 6, 1922. Today the store owner has gone missing. It's heartbreaking. We were good friends. It also seems that my mannequin is missing. I won't forgive the mannequin thief. June 7, 1922. I found the mannequin. It appears that some vagrant has dressed it in the clothes of a recently deceased poor old man and placed it back in the storefront window. Due to this event, I'm now suspect in the murder of that old man. Suspected of murder. This is madness. I can't wait for the real culprit to be found. June 15, 1922. Today I'm seriously considered the main suspect in the murder of the old man. I'm terrified. Why does the police think it's my doing? July 3, 1922. Someone has torn out an entire page from my diary. To replace the page, I will summarize the end of the month. I was acquitted due to insufficient evidence in the case of the old man's death, but now my sister is missing, and someone has dressed my mannequin in her clothes. The person must be a lunatic. My customers continue to tell the story of my mannequin's empty space in the storefront, even when there was no one in the store to move it. I plan to take the mannequin down and sell it. It terrifies the customers. July 5, 1922. Something is happening. I hear people at night banging on my house. My window is cracked and I still haven't found a buyer for the mannequin. I sent an ad for sale, but no one has called. July 10, 1922. My mother, she's missing. July 17, 1922. Her clothes. My mother's clothes are the mannequin. I couldn't fully understand or convince myself for a week. I might be insane, but I think all of this is under the mannequin's influence. This diary was found on July 18, 1922, after Mary Stanfield went missing in her home. Her clothes were discovered on a mannequin in her boutique. The mannequin was sold to a seller in New York.